what made you decide to join the retreat, and what also were maybe the resistance, the doubts?
So when you first told me about the retreat, I was like, I don't know if this type of stuff is for me. I was very hesitant. Did I want to allocate my budget to this? Was I going to feel good among a space of women that I don't know anything about? As a woman of color as well, as a Black woman, I'm used in the gaming space of being the only one in the space. So I was also hesitant regarding this. It was just asking me to get out of my comfort zone. And I think I didn't know all of the aspects of the retreat also. Like you sent me a presentation, which I read a little bit, but I didn't go into detail. So I was like, I don't know. And ultimately, what made me decide to go is the fact that I trust you and the fact that I knew you would make sure that I would feel good and safe during this experience. The fact that obviously it's happening in Portugal, in Faro. I wanted to experience that escapism and I wanted to take that time for me. So many times I thought about maybe this was a crazy idea because I have no idea what to expect for the retreat, right? And then when I got there and I experienced everything, I really got out feeling like this was one of the best decisions that I made in like the past few years, just taking that time for me, myself, and I still feel very grateful about doing that for myself. It's like doing myself a service, really.
Beautiful. And yes, I know when we discussed at the beginning, because it's very hard to put into words what we experience at the retreat. As you know, of course, I can describe the activities, but the feeling is so hard to describe, trying to put it in the materials. But I'm glad that now you've experienced it to really understand what is the work during the ORIN retreats. And during those days, what stays the most with you? A very vivid experience or activity or several ones that you like to share?
Everything stayed with me, honestly. First of all, I was so nicely surprised by the group of women that I was with because it's a group that managed to make me feel safe, that managed to make me open up, and I'm not somebody who opens up easily. It takes time, right? And there, in just 5 days, I felt like I was completely myself and that I was not being judged for it. So yeah, I would say the group of women, the sisterhood, honestly. Obviously, the whole venue was super nice as well. I think I really enjoyed the activities as well. I'm not somebody who works out a lot, and so I didn't even know we were going to work out. And then when it happened, I was like, oh, how is this going to be? And I really enjoyed that as well because it was like taking one path towards my future self and the person that I want to be. Doing the retreat really was that, is getting out of that comfort zone, being outside with people who in the end actually have a lot of common experiences. Like I felt like so many of us experienced the same things. We had one specific activity that stayed with me. It's the one where we were in front of the mirror, and this was my very first activity joining the retreat. And obviously, in the beginning, I was scared, to be frank, to just see myself, face myself in front of the mirror. And after we did that, and just seeing the women actually do the exercise, it made me feel more confident and it made me realize that, oh, women judge our bodies, we judge our bodies so harshly. And we see our bodies as something so much more worse than what it actually is. And seeing it from other women, I realized, wait, we're beautiful. Why are we not seeing ourselves the way other people are seeing us? And then when it was my turn, being confronted to myself in the mirror, I tried to keep that mindset, but it was still a very hard moment because in the past few months, I did realize that I was letting myself go mentally, spiritually, physically. And this was a time to actually confront that. So I was very grateful for that experience because it made me act upon something that I already knew, and it helped me take the step forward instead of staying passive.
Beautiful. Thank you for your sharing.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and I now I remember this mirror session, which was
Yeah.
very intuitive, by the way. I did not know I would do it
Yeah.
the day before, but I felt that was what was needed. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I would really want all women to do that for themselves. And it's something you can probably do at home, but it's completely different when you do that with the energy of 10 other women around you. Because we all ended up tearing up so much. And just the fact, I also don't cry in front of other people. And I found myself sobbing in front of all these women. So yeah, feeling vulnerable enough, feeling the power, the permission that I was given the permission to be myself and to be vulnerable, it really, it's everything. And it's something that I think a lot of people underestimate. The power of women coming together can be very healing, and I would wish for anybody to experience that.
Thank you, Jennifer. And who was Jennifer before the retreat, and who is she walking out of a retreat?
I'm still the same person I was before. I'm ambitious, professionally speaking. I have an idea of who I want to be as a person, even though professionally I'm a doer, right? I know that I want to do this, so I'm just going to do it. I can be very impulsive, very action oriented. I'm very driven as a person, but when it comes to myself as a person, in my own lifestyle, I appear outside to be very outgoing and outspoken and sociable, like probably look like I'm a social butterfly, but inside I can become very timid, very shy around other people. Sometimes I anticipate the fact that I have to talk to people today, so I need to prepare for that. People don't usually see that face of mine, and I guess the retreat was one way really to get out of that comfort zone for me and to allow myself to do something that I usually don't do. I'm also somebody who lacks discipline when it comes to taking action for my personal life. I don't work out a lot, even though I know that it would do me so much good, right? I've tried doing it several times, but allowing myself to take a step towards being that person, I think is what the retreat really gave me in the end. And it also made me want to recreate that circle of sisterhood, of womanhood at home. I have three sisters. Well, let me make a circle with them, you know? And I also want to transmit a little bit of what I've learned from that retreat, what I took from the retreat. I want to share that to people who are close to me. And I feel like I had a little bit more tools to get there as well. Not necessarily because I don't necessarily want to make it a whole thing. I feel like I'm somebody who sometimes feel guilty about not spending enough time with my family, with my sisters, my brothers, my nephew. And yeah, spending time with plenty of other women made me want to take that time and give that a little bit more to my family and the people that I trust and love. And I feel like it can only be a good thing moving forward.
An amazing impact indeed, your family systems, your life. So the changes always are in the big and small things, but the small things are actually what changes the life and the habits. So I'm glad to hear also those things because over time it's a compounding effect on how you're going to interact with your sisters and yourself. And last question, what do you say about this retreat now that you've experienced it to describe it to other women who should really go?
Honestly, I feel like women should go on this retreat if they want to get closer to the person whom they want to be. They should experience it also because it's fun. It was fun, chatting with all these women who you don't usually get to meet. Some people came from the US or other countries in Europe. I came from France, and it's also that diverse cast of people that make it interesting. We had a lot of fun times, dancing, chatting, singing sometimes, helping each other, advising each other. And we get to do that in the sauna or while swimming somewhere or just sharing a delicious breakfast, right? But in the end, it really is taking that time for me because I also realized when I got back, I felt the calmest I had ever been in the past few years, I would say. I felt relaxed like for real this time, because usually you go on a vacation trip and you do a lot of stuff, you come back and you're happy that you've done it, but do you actually feel relaxed? And I feel like it's the combination of doing the workouts, the activities, chatting with people. All of it takes so much energy, but at the same time it also recharges you in some way. And coming back, when I came back, I needed to take 1 or 2 more days so I could sleep as much as I want because I needed that. But I really felt much more relaxed. And I remember having friends of mine tell me, well, I don't think I've seen you like this. Not to say that I want to be that relaxed all the time, but having that kind of refresh really felt necessary for me, and I'm very thankful for myself for doing that again for me.
Mm. Thank you, Jennifer.